During your interview, you could be asked hundreds of different questions. Today, I'm going to cover 5 of the most common interview questions that you can encounter. With the first one being, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Now, this question is basically an ambition check. They want to check your ambition and see if it lines up with the organization. Is it compatible? It's okay if you do not have the perfect answer, but what you do not want to say is, I see myself being a manager after 12 months or the next pay grade after 18 months. Because that job that you're applying for, it could have limited promotion potential. Meaning that if you're telling them that you see yourself in a different area after a year or a year and a half, that means you're going to go ahead and jump ship. You're leaving, you're not going to stay. And a lot of positions, they're created to address pain points in the organization. So if they have this job and they're hoping this individual is able to make a real difference, they want someone that's probably going to stay at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They do not want somebody that's just going to pick up and leave when the next opportunity comes. So you don't want to make yourself seem flighty, or you're only in it for the status, the title, the money, and you don't really care about the organization or the organization's mission. The next common question is, how do you handle stress? Now, everyone deals with stress, so you do not want to say, oh, I never get stressed. Stress doesn't impact me, it doesn't bother me, because they're going to see that you're deceiving them, right? You don't want to come across as a liar. So talk about how you deal with stress. It could be taking deep breaths, it could be exercising, or a moment of mindfulness, or whatever it is that gets you through that stressful moment. For a lot of people, if they call a family member or a friend and they just kind of vent or explain their situation, that helps. Some people like to write in a journal. So have an answer for this in mind. Next common question is, why did you leave your job? Or why are you considering leaving your job? And this is a negativity test. They want to see if you could be negative or critical or talk bad about your previous employer. Because if you're willing to do that to your previous employer, you will do it to them. And they want to know, what type of person are you? And you want to be the type of person that takes the high road, that looks for the good parts of what occurred in the past and realize that you are trying to grow into your next opportunity, or you're looking for new challenges. You want to be honest here, but you do not want to talk bad about your previous supervisor or manager or the organization. Don't say, oh, the organization was all disorganized. I couldn't be there a moment more, so I had to leave as quick as I could. You do not want to say anything like that. The next common question is, why us? Why this agency? Why this organization or company? Out of all the companies and federal agencies out there, why us? And this is going to check if you researched and if you care. Because if you care, you would research and find out the mission. You would see what the goals and the vision statement of the agency were. So you need to know, maybe some current events even, right? So why the veteran affairs? If you were a veteran, you can speak on that, right? I'm a veteran, my family is filled with veterans, and this mission is passionate to me, right? This mission is near and dear to my heart because I come from a strong background of veterans. Or if it's Department of Justice, you can speak about that. Why justice is so important to you. What has the Department of Justice been through recently? Why does that speak to you? You have to do your research. Write down 2 or 3 main points that resonate with you in your background and be prepared to give that type of answer. Next common question is, do you have any questions for us? And the worst thing that you could do here is say no, right? Because that sends a signal that you're not really interested or you don't care. So you want to have 2 or 3 meaningful questions ready to go. So one question you could ask easily is, what is expected of this position in the next 6 months? This shows that you're serious and you really want to know in detail what you will be expected to do. Another one could be, when do you plan on making a selection when it comes to this position? So you can know their hiring timeline. Or who does this person report to? Because that way you'll be able to identify your future supervisor. Now, government interviews are very dry and all the questions are prepared ahead of time and they're asking everyone the same questions. A lot of times they have to write down all the answers. So it comes across as like a very robotic process. You will feel like, am I even talking to humans right now? Why isn't my charisma working? Why isn't my personality showing? No one really is going to be chuckling or laughing at your jokes or whatever it is that you usually do when you go into an interview. If it's a federal interview, it'll be very cold. It'll be a cold experience majority of the time. Now, even if you go through the interview process and you do not get the job offer, it is still a good thing because you went through there. You put yourself in an uncomfortable position. You practice selling yourself, communicating better, right? So all of these things that you're doing, it's going to make you a more appealing candidate in the future. And I tell people oftentimes that even when you have a job offer and you still get interview requests, if you have the time, go on those interviews too. Go on as many interviews as you can. And before you go on them, you want to practice. Somebody that you trust or know, get on the phone, get on the computer, get face to face and practice. Practice communicating your value. Practice trying to sell yourself as an asset to that company. All of it results in your confidence level increasing, your communication skills and abilities increasing. The chances that you're going to nail that next interview and actually get the job that you want, that increases as well. Now, if you've been applying and you're not getting the interviews or the referrals that you want to get, if it's not your resume, if your resume is strong, a lot of times it can also be the way that you're applying for these jobs, the application process, the questionnaire. If you want an example on how you should be filling out that questionnaire, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.